Hi guys, here's a loaded question for you. Do you ever feel like you want to give up? That you want to give up on trying to get better? You want to give up on doing brain retraining? You just feel like things aren't changing fast enough, or you're not seeing changes at all? I know in the course of my brain retraining, I definitely have had a lot of up and down emotions and struggled at times with keeping my mood stable and, getting discouraged with symptoms and wondering if I'm ever going to really get better and be whole. We watch videos of people who went through the program and they're like pictures of health now. And we wonder if that's going to be us at some point. Well, I was just driving. I'm going to my daughter's to babysit for a little bit. And I was thinking about this on the way here. And I haven't really shared in detail much about where I was before I started brain retraining. I've mentioned it here and there, but I just wanted to share a little bit more with you right now because it really hit me on my way just driving just now. Before brain retraining, several months before brain retraining is when I fractured my back, my spine. The reason I fractured my spine is because about 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with advanced osteoporosis. And by the time they discovered it, because I had no idea that I had it, but my bones had been deteriorating for I don't know how long, but by the age of 52, by the time they discovered it, my bones were already like an elderly woman, like in her 80s or 90s. Extreme, severe deterioration of my bones. If you've had a DEXA scan, there's T-scores and stuff, and my T-scores are really, really bad in my hips and in my spine, which makes me a very, very high fracture risk. My own primary care doctor told me that my spine, my osteoporosis is worse than he's ever seen in his practice or ever, of all age groups, that I'm the worst case. And my endocrinologist told me the same thing. They say that my fracture risk is 100%, that I will refracture. We also discovered that I had actually gotten 3 thoracic fractures in my upper spine, and I never knew it. They were discovered on an x-ray and then on an MRI. But when I got the fracture right before I started brain retraining, it was, I was babysitting for my grandsons, and one of my grandsons was up in an apple tree, and I came towards the tree and I just yelled, "Don't do anything dangerous while Grandma's babysitting." And the bees came. There were bees in a nest up there, and they came at me and they started circling me. And because of the osteoporosis and how serious it is, I can't bend forward. I have to be real, real careful how I move, how I bend. And while I was trying to get away from the bees, I twisted or bent forward in a way that I can't because of how fragile my spine is. And I heard a crunch in my spine and was in excruciating pain instantly. And long story short, ambulance to the hospital. I had fractured my lumbar spine, and I had 3 or 4 bulging discs, and I wrenched my back out. So got home and everything, and it was excruciatingly painful, very, very scary, very traumatic, and I struggled with depression. This was right before brain retraining, maybe 5-6 months, something like that. I was very, very depressed. people do fracture their backs. They break their backs and stuff, but it's different when you have osteoporosis, because it's a certain part of your bone structure where you lose the density, and it makes your bones very easy to fracture. So if a healthy person breaks their back or breaks a bone, it will heal up, and they'll be normal again. But with my condition, humanly speaking, there's no cure. So anyway, I got very, very depressed, and I couldn't see a way out. I couldn't see a future for myself as a 58-year-old, 57-year-old, having the bones of an old lady, where I wouldn't be able to do normal things in my life. And so that was really tough to swallow. Anyway, moving forward, I found DNRS, and I began to have hope again, because I really had lost hope. And I believe, and I think that science backs this up, that trauma, which I come from childhood trauma and being stuck in fight or flight for many, many years and all of that, can affect every part of our health. And I believe also bone development. Because when your body's stuck in fight or flight, it's not doing a lot of rest, digest, repair, restore, because it's just trying to keep you alive. So I believe that in doing the brain retraining and getting my system into calm, rest, and restore, that my bones are being restored along with the rest of me. Do I doubt? Am I fearful? Yes, but I'm also hopeful. I actually have my next DEXA scan appointment in April, and that's going to show me whether the brain retraining has actually helped to restore my bones. I told my endocrinologist that I was doing this, the brain retraining, and she's like, that's awesome. She said, if we see that even that you haven't deteriorated more, she said that would be wonderful. And she wants to do a case study with me if my bone loss has stopped, decreased, or if bone has grown back, if it's being restored. So didn't mean to get into all of that, but all that to say, I have hope now that I didn't have before. And so on the way up here, I was thinking, right now I'm a little bit discouraged because I'm having a lot of symptoms, a lot of sensations in my body. But even though I still get discouraged, and I wonder if I'm going to get where I want to be, I will never quit. I will never stop trying to renew my mind, work on my nervous system, and all of that, because I believe it is the answer to what we are looking for. I believe that brain retraining, getting the nervous system calmed, finding that peace within, that relaxed state more often, and having new neural pathways, having more joy, just being in a better place, I believe is the answer that we're looking for. And we have to look at it that it's not like a 1-year program or a 6-month program or whatever, wanting those symptoms to go away and wanting to see the progress that, that we expect or whatever in a certain time frame, because ultimately if we weren't doing this, what are we doing? We're not doing anything, or we're chasing the same old things we chased before. So to me, we need to get rid of that idea of a time frame and just go for it. Because if you're like me, you've got some hope now. So to me, quitting isn't an option. I won't quit, because if I quit doing this, what do I have left? And I totally know that God is with me, and he's led me to this program. So I'm not saying there's no hope, because there's always hope in God. He's the God of all hope. But I'm just saying, as far as like programs and things like that, we can't quit. Where are we going to go? If we quit doing this, if we give up on this, where are we going to go? I believe the answer is our brain. It is our brain. It's not our body. So I personally am not going to quit. No matter how hard it gets, no matter whether I see the progress I want to see or not. I've seen improvement. I know I'm getting stronger. I feel better in general. So I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. And I hope that you won't either. I know there's really tough days. There's really hard times. There's discouragement and all of that, because we want what we want when we want it. We want to be well now. We want to be whole now. But we have to hold on to the hope that we're doing the right thing and that we are getting better, even if we can't see it. So guys, if any of you are feeling down, depressed, discouraged, please don't give up hope, okay? Don't give up hope. You keep going, all right? And I will too. All right. Have a great day, guys. Bye.